Hi guys, welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your support. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It's just basically a collective energy reading of sort of what's going on out there, what could be happening for us, shifts and changes, energies we might want to be aware of that we can harness or take advantage of. So this may affect you, it may not. Take it as you will. If it applies to your life or it inspires you in some way, utilize it and run with it. If it doesn't, that's okay. You just might be working on something different. This reading is originally created for Thursday, the 15th of April, but it is also a timeless reading in the sense that if you're seeing it on a date that's not the 15th of April, that's okay. I would still watch it. There might still be meaning in the reading for you when you see it versus when it was originally created for. Also, please check out the drop-down menu below the video on my YouTube channel. In there is ways to support the channel and also just things I want you to think about as you watch my readings and how you should best utilize my readings. So those things are important. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. We're here every day in the morning. These are pre-taped so that my Patreon customers can see them a day early. My Patreon subscribers get the daily forecast a day early and other readings that are available over there. All right, so let's see what's going on. And if you need to contact me for a private reading, I am available for those. Those are bookable via my Facebook business page. You can send me a message directly there. Leaving questions and comments on the video too is always appreciated. I will try and answer them, or I definitely read them and hit the like button. So I'd like to know if this stuff makes sense to you guys, even if you watch it at a later date. So let's see what the cards want us to know this morning. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're in the moon. All right. This is card number 18. So this is absolutely a beautiful card with the two wolves. We have the light and the dark of the wolf, right? I'm gonna kind of go with this, like I don't know why the wolves are pulling my attention, right? But the moon usually signifies a little bit of confusion. It's very emotional, very subconscious, very psychic, very subtle. It can be subtle. Dimly lit. I'm not threatened by the moon card at all. I know a lot of people kind of associate it as sort of maybe a negative card or a card like that confusion is hard. I find the moon to be a card where we need to sort of listen to the more subtle voices in our mind, in our hearts, in our soul to sort things out. I love that we have the light and dark wolf on either side of this moon. It's sort of like the two sides of us as individuals, our dark, our shadow side, and our light side. And we've been noticing a lot of that through the theme of these cards. This is we're already on Thursday, and all we've seen is major arcana cards this week, which is really odd. It says to me that this is probably a pivotal week for most of you. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I would go back and watch the Sunday reading starting in the bottom hand corner at the left-hand corner, of the bottom of this video when this video ends, and I would watch through this whole week because it's been all major arcana and there's been a lot of really interesting things going on. When I look at this card, to me, we might be feeling a bit emotional. We might be feeling a bit of a struggle, a little bit of a confusion, maybe trying to choose. Do we choose the light or the dark side of ourselves? Do we choose our higher instincts or our more base instincts? Are we acting out of fear or out of faith? It's that sort of thing. It also makes me think of that Indian proverb, or I think it's a Native American sort of story about the wolf that will grow is the one that you feed the most. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think most of you should. There's that wolf of fear and the wolf of faith sort of thing, and whichever wolf you feed more will grow more. And so some of you might be challenged today by your own self. It may feel that way. Remember, we have that devil energy underneath this card, and devil to me is not a bad thing. He's there to show us where we are weakest, where we are cutting corners, where we are maybe being lazy or sloth-like, or selfish. He wants us to stay in those places. The moon here is us sort of maybe, I wouldn't say struggling, but us trying to work that out within ourselves, similar to the hermit, but a little bit more emotional. Yesterday we saw the hermit. The moon is associated with the sign of Cancer, so it is going to be moody. It is going to be mood swings today a little bit, but ultimately I do get this feeling with her being under the water there. It's sort of like us being internal to ourselves, right? Us having the discussion within ourselves, although the discussion may be a little cloudy or unclear, also due to that devil energy that's kind of underpinning these midweek cards, where we may find ourselves challenged by people, situations that annoy the shit out of us. But we have to kind of keep reaching for that higher, sort of better answer without disavowing that dark wolf, right? That shadow self, right? So we want to sort of reach for our own light and go for our highest good, be on our best behavior, so to speak. That would indicate the white wolf, right? But there's an equality between the both. And it's finding that equality emotionally today and answering and being in the world in that way, where we're hopefully operating slightly more from this side, but not disavowing this side or resisting this side of who we are. I feel like there's an equality and an acceptance in this. We saw it yesterday in the hermit, where the hermit is about going deep, going dark, looking inward and finding that spiritual awareness of who we are and accepting all of it. The moon is like on the emotional level of doing that, right? So I love this card for us today. Be prepared for psychic impressions. If you may have some with this card at hand. You might have sort of inklings or intuitive nudgings that are telling you certain things either about yourself or others around you that you might find surprising or interesting, to say the very least. Trust them, listen to them. I wouldn't necessarily act on them, but I would listen to them. So for the Lightworker Oracle, we have the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge, which is 42. This is a 5. So with this card, this is all about sort of the fifth chakra, expressing our truth, or that's how I see it because it's the fifth ray. So I think of the fifth chakra, and I love how she's sort of beaming in this picture. She's beaming her truth. And even though it's sort of interesting, the moon is kind of a little bit, what's the word? Kind of conflicted as a card in and of itself, but it's working through that conflict within ourselves internally, and then taking sort of what we get from the answers we receive within ourselves and utilizing that as our truth. And then like this to me also looks like the moon around her, right? Or the light shining from within her. Your truth, is it fully acceptable? Okay. Even if it's, maybe vulnerable or frail, maybe we haven't always done the best that we can. That would be that darker wolf there. But in the moment, as we operate in the outside world, we try and project our best and highest, brightest self. Does that make sense? And that is not a lie, right? That is who we are in any given moment. So I think even if we might feel conflicted or emotional, maybe confused or challenged today through this moon card coupled with that devil card, I believe that with this fifth ray of intellectual intelligence, we are smart enough, aware enough of how to communicate our highest information, our highest intelligence, our truth, essentially. We may find people that don't necessarily agree with that. I love this sort of zombie-looking people around her that kind of almost take offense to this woman in the center because she is beaming so brightly. But that's more their thing than ours, and we need to remember that. We need to allow people to be where they're at and kind of, in a sense, I don't want to say be selfish, but only worry or take care of our own self, because that's all we really have control over, ultimately, right? So let's read the fifth ray of intellectual intelligence, number 42. Sorry, my dogs were really snoring this morning. Came in here and fell asleep. Come on, 42. Okay. So, intellectual knowledge, the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. And remember, yesterday's grounding stone was knowledge. So that's interesting too. So maybe from yesterday, we have found some sort of knowledge or awareness. We're still working on that through this moon card and that devil card, but I think that all of this is serving us in a very big and profound way. The fifth ray of intellectual knowledge has come to you as a spiritual gift. You are being given the ability to find information you need. That would be searching through the moon energy too, guys. Understand systems that impact your life and find clarity in any issue that has seemed unclear or overwhelming. So if you are an emotional overwhelm of this moon, this fifth ray is sort of the antidote to that. We can find this for ourselves. You shall sort the truth from the lies and learn what you need to know. The Archangel Raphael now assists you in integrating the blessings of the fifth ray. I love that. Because that would be the truth from the lies, would be the white and dark wolf in a way. The devil energy underneath. We're sorting through this. We're actually finding our answers today. The invocation is, I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. I call upon the grace and assistance of the universe and Archangel Raphael to help me discern truth and find the information and understanding that will enable me to feel peace and experience penetrating insight in my life. I am thankful for the gifts of intelligence and understanding that help me live my best life in service to love. May knowledge serve the liberation of all beings through unconditional love and divine mercy. Through my own free will, so be it. So, like I said, if you're feeling a little bit challenged, allow for it and know that we will find an answer. It will happen today. It will sort itself out today. On the grounding stone, this is a principle we want to ground in. This is on malachite, which would be associated with the fourth chakra, which is the heart. The word is inspiration. Finding inspiration within ourselves, I think, is going to be key today, especially with that moon energy, and also this fifth ray of intellectual knowledge that does look like she's definitely believing in herself and her truth, finding that honesty and truth. Inspiration always takes me to the word of spirit, right? And in our heart is where our spirit resides. Taking inspiration from our own self and our own spirit, our own heart, the truth of our heart, even if it's a bit emotional or murky like this moon, that's okay. Go through sort of like, how do I want to say this? Your emotions are not your enemy in a way. They're there to sort of be a guide to help you, to help your spirit, your mind, all of the different aspects of yourself kind of communicate. And they're signifiers or signals to you where things are working and maybe where they're not. And so sitting with them would be a good thing today with this moon card to help you sort them out. The devil would want you to run from them. Does that make sense? And so this fifth ray of intellectual knowledge says, no, we define the truth today. We find our awareness of ourself today through maybe even our emotions. We're able to communicate them clearly, and we find inspiration in doing that work. And that's what we want to ground in today. Remember, the grounding stone for the week is happiness. So we need to sort of maybe sort through some of these more confusing emotional energies so that we can find and attain that happiness. And I do really believe that it's out there for you. Okay, that is your forecast for the day. I hope it makes sense. I hope you guys are enjoying this week. And please feel free to leave me a question or a comment on the video. Please hit the thumbs up button. It greatly helps me if you're enjoying these videos. It also helps the YouTube algorithm so that they will hopefully show my content to other people. Feel free to share my content out on your social medias or your Facebook pages if you're inspired by them, or tell your friends about my channel. And I'm here every day. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Oh, and also feel free to subscribe. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and stay inspired. All right, bye-bye.